TurboCASH.net, free accounting downloads.
That's right, we're joined by Mr. Wayne Flint, who's the CEO of pink.co.za and also a representative of the TurboCASH Project, to talk about opportunities that are out there for small to medium-sized enterprise accountants out there. Mr. Flint, how are you?
Morning, I'm fine.
Always good to have you. Your hair looks, or your head rather, looks extra smooth. Did you kind of run
using one of those fully shaved products you guys are talking about later.
Nice.
So a punt.
Now, last week we were speaking about TurboCASH giving away free manuals, and you had unbelievable response to that.
We had an awesome response. Unfortunately, we were caught off guard. We didn't realize that so many SMEs, accountants, are awake this early in the morning. So I'll talk a bit later about running the special again today.
Well, now that we know that there's about 1,000 of them awake, actually listening to this right now, tell me, let's start again about, why is it so important, especially for open source software, from an open source software point of view, for small to medium-sized enterprises to get involved in TurboCASH?
We need all the input because open source project is about a community that keeps growing. Everyone gives an input, not just developers and accountants, anyone, the users from the debtors clerk. So what we need people to do is to go to TurboCASH, download the software, start using it, get the free manual we were giving away again today and learn it. And the more response we have from the end user, the more we can grow the project and give it out a better product at the same time.
You know what, at the end of the day, I think when it comes to free things, there's always that discrepancy of, you're not really guaranteed whether it's going to be working like it should. Would you say that's the case with TurboCASH?
It's a bit perception. People always add the quality of something to its value. That is a difficult perception to pass. But I mean, most people are using open source software for about 10, 15 years now. And in open source, basically, what the myth is, what we decide is that for software to move forward, we don't charge people for it. Everything's free and it moves forward. There's many other examples of open source software besides TurboCASH, and many people have been using it for years. So it's just a matter, give it a try and you'll see it's just as good as any product out there.
But of course, when it comes to accounting, it's a bit of another matter because it's so serious and you don't want SARS coming down on you because you've been doing the wrong thing. But tell me about this. It's open source software, which means all the users are able to contribute to the development of the software.
That's
so
correct.
What kind of structures have you put in place to make sure that when those kind of updates come in from users, that they're tested correctly in order to make sure that they are applicable?
We've got many tiers of sort of testing before we decide which projects get shipped out to the greater community. So we have small users developing and adding to the product all the time. But that doesn't always get shipped out to everyone. We look at the product, make sure that everything's applicable to everyone around the world. Some updates might only be available to people in a certain country, whereas others will be available to everybody. And we do have people monitoring all those and making sure that there are things like SARS compliant and everything like that.
And of course, the applicability of the software is also broad-based, not just for retailers, but for wholesalers.
We do everything from restaurant systems to basically point-of-sale systems, everything from pay-as-you-earn and all that. Everything's there. So any accounting function that you need, we provide it all.
And of course, from a cost-saving perspective, it's really quite pivotal to a business when you're starting off and you don't have to fork out thousands and thousands of rands.
Well, most accounting systems have a once-off fee and then a yearly contribution. We have none of that. So I mean, a small business could save as much as 30,000 rand a year.
Wow.
And that's quite a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. So how does one get involved if I'm a restaurateur and I'd like to, let's say, get the system on board?
Well, the first thing would be to go to www.turbocash.net and download the software. And like I said, today we are till 12 o'clock giving away the manual again, which explains everything. This manual is normally 260 rand. So till 12 today, it will be free. Just go to the same site, turbocash.net, and you can download it again.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you.
There we go. TurboCASH.net. Download your free manual from there if you're an interested businessman who wants to start off on a good note, saving yourself a lot of cost. Now, Cindy Nene is our special guest today, and Ewan is standing by to have a chat to her.
TurboCASH.net, free accounting downloads.